Hello, this video is designed to help clarify the process of chord naming and chord spelling. It's not intended to cover every possible chord, but is covering most of the most common ones. Okay, so I think the simplest way to think about chord spelling regarding seventh chords is to think about them as a particular kind of triad plus a particular kind of seventh. One thing to keep in mind is that when chord symbols were new, when they were a new idea back in the early 20th century, they were named more fully, and then over time, their descriptive names were abbreviated. I will tell you the full names as well as the abbreviated names. Okay, so the first type is a major 7 chord. A major 7 used to be called a major major 7 chord, meaning major triad plus a major seventh. A major 7 chord. Now it's just called a major 7 chord, but that's what it is, a major triad plus a major seventh. So we're thinking about the key of C. We have these are all notes in the C major scale, 1, 3, 5, 7, a major third, a perfect fifth, a major seventh. And that's the way it sounds, and the way it would be expressed as a formula is 1, 3, 5, 7, because a whole number is indicating a major or perfect interval. A number that's not preceded by any prefix means that interval is major or perfect. Okay, the next one is a dominant 7th chord. Oh, by the way, there is color coding here. All chords with major triads as their base are red. Minor triad is the base blue, augmented triad is the base purple, diminished triad is the base green, and Sus4 Triad is the base orange. Okay, so we're on the second major triad now. 1, 3, 5 plus a flat 7 is a dominant chord. This used to be called a major minor 7 chord, right? A major triad plus a minor 7. But over time the name got changed to dominant 7th. But you have to remember that it's a major triad plus a flat 7. So that means it's the same as this one, except it has a 7th, which is a half step less wide of an interval, which is a minor 7th. That's a dominant chord, C7. It's the way it's written is a little confusing because it's not written as C dominant 7th. Again, it used to be written that way. In old fake books you can see that, but over time it got abbreviated to just C plus the number 7. When you see a letter plus the number 7, that means it's a dominant chord with this formula, 1, 3, 5 flat 7. Okay, the next kind of major chord is a major 6th chord. This is 1, 3, 5 plus a major 6th. There is no 7th, there's a 6th instead. And that 6th is a major 6th. It's written like that, C6, not C major 6, just C6. It means a major triad plus a major 6th. Okay, now we get into our minors. The first one is a minor triad plus a major 7th. This is actually not the most common type of minor 7th chord, but it is the good one to start with. So a minor triad plus a major 7th, 1, flat 3, 5, 7, and as you can see, this C minor major 7th now has a major 7th of B natural, but it has a minor third. So let's adjust our triad, and here we go. Okay, next we have a minor 7 chord. Now this used to be called a minor 7 chord, meaning a minor triad plus a minor 7th. Now it's been reduced down to just minor 7. 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. Here we have the notes. If we put in our arpeggio, minor 7th. That's a minor 7th. And by the way, this is really good to play on keyboard and sing the intervals. You know, you can start with a major 7 and do C minor 6. Now this is a C minor triad plus a major 6th. 1, flat 3, 5, 6. Major 6th. Now, this is a source of confusion for a lot of people. But it really shouldn't be. It's just a C minor triad, but instead of a minor 6th, it has a major 6th, like that. C minor 6 used to be called C minor major 6th, but over time got abbreviated to just C minor 6. Okay, now we're into the augmented triads. Augmented triad is a 1, 3 sharp 5, and then plus a major 7. That's C augmented major 7. And here is the chord, and let's get an arpeggio happening for this. Arpeggio would be 1, 3, and then sharp 5, augmented 5th, major 7. Okay, next is C augmented dominant 7th. So C augmented with a minor 7th. So the original name for this would have been C augmented minor 7. But over time it just became C augmented 7, meaning it's a dominant chord. So it has an augmented triad plus a minor 7th. So it's a form of dominant chord. Okay, next we have, now that's our augmenteds. Now we go to our diminished triad bass. So that I'm going to do this one first. A diminished triad plus a minor 7th used to be called C diminished minor 7. Eventually became C minor 7 flat 5. Sometimes it's called C half diminished. Diminished triad plus a minor 7th. That means it's going to be a minor 3rd. Of course, it's diminished triad. A diminished 5th. And a minor 7th. Okay, next we have C diminished. That's a diminished triad plus a diminished 7th. A diminished 7th is 1/2 step narrower than a minor 7th. So there's our minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio. I simply take the minor 7, bring it down a 1/2 step, and we get our diminished, fully diminished 7th chord. So again, the formula 1 flat 3 flat 5 diminished 7th, or double flat 7 is another way to express that. Okay, now we come to a completely different kind of triad, a Sus4 triad. That's no 3rd, 1 4 5, 1 perfect 4th, perfect 5th, and then plus a flat 7 gives us C7 Sus4. Now this is considered to be a dominant chord, even though there is no major 3rd. It's a version. It's a sort of variation, you could say, on a dominant chord by having the Sus4 instead of the 3rd. And so we take that 3rd, put it into a Sus4, then we've got our flat 7 there, and here's what it sounds like. Okay, those are the chords, and that's one way to think about 7th chords, is a particular kind of triad plus a particular kind of 7th. And like I said, I would recommend that you play them on a keyboard and sing the formulas as you play them on it. Start on the root C, memorize all these chord types, then start trying them in other keys with other roots.